Hello everyone, this is FFXIV and this is a simple guide video on Hydaelyn Extreme. Here's the cutscene. Nah, y'all could watch it when you fight her. Let's speed it up a little. You may be wondering if the fight is difficult. Nah, it's not that hard. Let's go into the mechanics. Alright, let's talk about the map-wide AoE first. She will always start the fight with Hero's Radiance, okay, and throughout the fight she will cast 2 times of Magos Radiance and 2 times of Halo, and finally 1 time of Radiant Halo towards the end. Healers would need to heal and shield through all of this. I may be wrong here, but I think that Radiant Halo kinda hurts more when you have less people alive on your team, so be careful about that. Shining Saber would target a random player and do AoE sharing damage, so everyone should stack for it. Throughout the fight you will see her doing weapon change mechanics with 3 different effects, and the effects will be indicated by the symbols that swirl around her when she does so. Green being circular point blank AoE. Red being donut AoE. Blue being cross AoE. So get further away when it's green, go into her when it's red, and stand diagonally when it's blue. Next, she has got Crystallize, which also has 3 different effects and they can be seen by the elements around her. The effect of Crystallize wouldn't happen immediately, it would happen after her next skill, so you have got to remember which element did she cast. Water would drop shared AoE damage onto each of the healers, so 1 tank and 2 DPS should stick with each of the healers. You may pre-assign who should stack with which healer in the beginning. Ice would cause an AoE to erupt underneath each player. All the players should spread out to avoid killing each other. Earth is similar to Shining Blade, targeting a random player, so everyone should stack together to share the AoE damage. You may pre-mark your healers to find them more easily during the fight. It's her next skill and it has 2 variations. Aureole would hit her front and the back. Lateral Aureole would hit her left and the right sides. Stand in front of or behind her during Lateral Aureole and stand at her sides during the normal Aureole. Musa Scorn is a tank buster that requires both the tanks to share the damage. Hero's Sundering is another tank buster that will do a conal AoE, so remember to face it away from the rest of the team. This is the Ads phase where Hydaelyn would become untargetable and she would then spawn 6 crystals of light and 2 echoes of Hydaelyn. After a short delay, you will either see the 3 northern crystals or the 3 southern crystals would then shine brightly. These shining crystals should be destroyed one by one first to slow down the conviction bar charges. Both the echoes of Hydaelyn have to be pulled away by both the tanks away from the crystal that is being hit by the rest of the team. If the echo is too close to the crystal will receive a buff and it would take less damage from the team. When the conviction bar charges to full, the team would then be wiped. Once the 3 shiny crystals are destroyed, the conviction bar will slow down tremendously. Each time a crystal is destroyed, both the echoes of Hydaelyn will receive a huge chunk of damage. For the echoes of Hydaelyn, besides buffing the crystals that are close to them, they will also buff each other, giving each other more damage. If the echoes are close to each other, the tanks would receive more damage from them, increasing the burdens of the tanks and healers. As long as the echo is 2 crystals away from the crystal or the other echo, they would not receive the buff. So the 2 tanks may try to keep the echoes 2 crystals away from each other and 2 crystals away from the crystal being targeted by the team. Once you are done dealing with all the crystals and the echoes of Hydaelyn, she would then deal map-wide AoE damage to everyone after a delay. The next mechanic would be the first Lightwave, where she would spawn 2 Lightwaves to the north and 4 crystals in the arena, 3 to the north and 1 to the south. The Lightwaves would either be in the middle and to the left, or in the middle and to the right. Move immediately to the crystal that has no Lightwave. The Lightwave will be moving, and there will be an AoE eruption when the Lightwave touches the crystal, and it can only be blocked by another crystal. So stay out of line of sight from the middle crystal. After the middle Lightwave touches the middle crystal, move immediately to avoid the second eruption. Hydaelyn will then cast Lateral Arc, which targets a random tank, a random healer and a random DPS in no particular order. Healers should stay at the first crystal, the 4 DPS should then move to the middle crystal, and the 2 tanks should move to the furthest crystal, while staying out of line of sight from the southern crystal that was mentioned earlier. There will be another AoE eruption when the middle Lightwave touches the southern crystal. Now she will summon 2 more Lightwaves to the north, to the left and the right sides, and 5 crystals in the arena. Before the Lightwaves start to move, she will cast Hero's Glory, which will cleave the southern half of the arena, wait behind her and move immediately to avoid the AoE eruptions. If you look to the north, when she summons the Lightwaves, you can see the order of them appearing and know which Lightwave will move first. Avoid all 4 AoE eruptions, and she will cast Hero's Glory again, immediately move to the crystal behind her to avoid the cleave, and one final Lightwave that will be moving past the middle arena. And this should be obvious by now, do not touch the Lightwave. The next mechanic would be Parhelion, where she would send out a set of chakrams in 3 Kono AoE. As they would be telegraphed, stay in the middle and move immediately to the area between the first and second set of chakrams. Once the chakrams are out, they would stay and Hydaelyn would cast Crystallize, and in this case it will always be water. So the players need to spread into 2 groups as shown in the video, one group closer to Hydaelyn and another group closer to the outer arena. Both teams should stay next to the first set of chakrams. She will cast Parhelion, where after the Crystallized water is resolved, the chakrams will immediately return towards Hydaelyn in the same order, hitting the other side of the arena. Move immediately after the water Crystallize is resolved towards the middle area of the first set of chakram, which will be the safe area. You can see that the outer group was staying too far away from the first set of chakram and they got hit. The next mechanic is Parhelic Circle. In the case of Parhelion, she will always use Crystallized water. So for Parhelic Circle, she will always use Crystallized ice. Hydaelyn would spawn 3 long lines and 3 short lines in the arena. The light ball in the middle will then split into smaller balls towards the end of each line, causing circular AoE under each of them. There will be a total of 9 safe spots for the 8 players to share, staying safe from the light balls and the crystallized ice that happens after. The Kono areas with the short line can fit 1 player, while the areas between 2 long lines can fit 2 players. After Parhelion and Parhelic Circle, she will always follow up with an immediate Aureole or Lateral Aureole, so be prepared to move accordingly immediately. The final mechanic would be Lightwave, which is a little bit different from the first Lightwave earlier. In this Lightwave, she would spawn 4 Lightwaves around the arena. Determine the two light waves that are very close to each other and move immediately to the area opposite of that and look at where the light waves will be passing by. You can then determine the small spot that will be untouched by all the light waves and all 8 players should gather there. After the light waves start to move, Hydaelyn will cast Echoes on a random player which would cause shared AoE damage 5 times, and one of the tank would receive Musa Scorn and the other 6 non-tank players would have AoE mark on them. The tanks should stay at the spot for the Musa Scorn to resolve, and the other 6 players need to spread out immediately to the middle of the arena. Four new light waves will then start to move, leaving only the middle of the arena safe, so everyone should gather in the middle after the AoEs are resolved. Hydaelyn would use Crystallize here and some other easier mechanics that have been shown earlier before repeating the final Lightwave mechanic again. After she has done the final mechanic for the second time, she will cast a few skills like Crystallize, Weapon Change, Aureole, etc. before she casts Hero's Radiance for the second time, which is the Enrage phase. So these are all the mechanics. Once you're familiar with all of this, you should do fine and you'll be easy to clear. I am Viva Larray and I stream on Twitch. Come hang out when you have the time. Bye!